Whether you call them potatoes, or batatas, it doesn't matter. They're considered a comfort food all over the world and have made their way into the hearts of people young and old. I'm bringing to you another patatastic recipe today. I'm making Spanish potatoes. Let's see how to make them. So the special thing about this recipe is that the potatoes are cooked twice in this recipe. So I'm going to start by shallow frying my potatoes in a shallow pan. The heat has to be medium, not too high, not too low, and I'm going to add a lot of oil. So the reason that we shallow fry the potatoes first is so that they form a nice skin and barrier so that they don't soften and melt in the next process. I'm going to take a peeled potato, drain off all the water and cut them into thick slices. Make sure the potato slices are at least half an inch thick so that they survive the cooking process. Now, without overcrowding the pan, I'm going to shallow fry these. Place them one by one into hot oil. That's the perfect sound. Place them a little apart from each other so that they get a nice thick skin. I'm going to flip them and cook them on the other side for maybe 1 more minute. So I'm not necessarily looking for a color on my potatoes. I just want them to have a thin skin on them so that they don't mush up in the next process. So the potatoes are still very raw from the inside. They've just cooked on the outermost layer. Now I'm going to fry up the next batch as well. The second batch is also ready. I'm just going to take it off on my plate. So to cook the potatoes in the next step, I don't need so much oil. I need only about 1 teaspoon or maximum 2. So I'm just going to remove the rest of it and I can use this to cook any other vegetable. Potatoes are nothing without seasoning or any sort of flavor. So let's build up our flavors in the pan. I'm going to add 1 chopped onion and saute this, 3 cloves of sliced garlic. I'm going to add a pinch of salt to let the onion cook faster. So the onions have a nice golden color. Now I'm going to add more flavor to this with some stock cubes. So I have a cube here. It just crumbles in my hand. I'm using 2 of these cubes. This is going to add lots of flavor. Add it to the pan along with cornflour slurry. So I have some cornflour. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. Quickly mix it. Now I'm going to add the slurry into the pan and quickly stir it. This is going to act as a thickener. Now I quickly want to cook some paprika in this, not for more than 10 seconds. So as much as you like, and a splash of water. Stir this well. I'm going to spread the onion mixture all over the pan, and now it's time to put in the potatoes. I'm just going to add 1 potato at a time and go all around the pan. And as soon as the potatoes go in, add in water, just enough so that the top of your potatoes are still not covered in water. If you're planning to serve these potatoes in this pan as well, use a nice looking pan and arrange the potatoes in a pretty manner. But I'm going to serve it on a different plate, so I'm just going to let them cook in this pan. We're going to let this cook for around 15 minutes. So what will happen is the water that we've just added is going to grab all the flavors that we've created at the bottom and insert it into the potatoes. You must be wondering why we haven't added enough salt in our pan. That's because my stock cube already has a lot of salt. In case you're using just water without the stock cube, add as much salt as you like. Once all the water boils up, your potatoes will be cooked. Now, the final touches, I'm going to add another splash of water. just to release everything from the bottom. And now I'm going to just mix this very lightly with very light hands so that I don't break the potatoes. Just flip them slowly so that the flavor is distributed properly all throughout the potatoes. Once all the potatoes are flipped and covered in all this flavor, you can plate them and serve them. I'm going to plate them in a small pan here to get the right look. Garnish this with some chopped spring onions and a little more paprika powder. This recipe is perfect for the weekend. Make this as a side dish and enjoy all the compliments that come your way. I'm going to go and eat these now, but I want you to go and try this recipe out. Until then, keep cooking, keep smiling. I'll see you next time.
आपको देखना है यहाँ पे।
हाँ, पर देखूंगी कैसे? पकड़ने के बाद उधर ना। हाँ।